What's up? Are we alive?
Caesar says, oh he, beanie man.
Hello.
Captain Spagjarrow Zero says, Beaver man.
Yeah, man. Feeling fresh with this. You gotta watch this movie. Oh, I think you've seen it, right?
Captain Spagjarrow Zero says, when we're getting 100s of M though.
Alright, I'm gonna get a little bit of a snack here. And then we'll get moving. I meant to leave earlier, but you know, my time is, I'm bad at time.
Captain
basically.
Spagjarrow Zero says, yup, great movie. Recommended it to a few friends.
They didn't
don't
get it. What is there to get? It's amazing. How could you not get it? Did they watch the whole thing? Because I think you could watch like 20 minutes of it and be like, I don't understand, and you're just like, whatever. You'd be making a mistake, but I can see that happening. All right, we got the tamago chahan onigiri. So it's just fried rice with eggs. And a coffee that I may regret.
Captain Spagjarrow Zero says, IKR. It has romance, action, everything we see in a Marvel movie lol.
Yeah.
Captain Spagjarrow Zero says, yeah.
I don't know how you couldn't like that movie. It was amazing. I liked it so much I bought the shirt. I don't catch what just happened, but I think she said something about me. Not like nasty, but just she acknowledged that I'm a human, which is abnormal. Okay, I'm gonna drive into Shibuya, where Katie and I are going to a comedy show tonight. Come on, internet, load the thing. I'm gonna crash my chat app. I'll be right back. See if we can get lucky. There we go, got lucky.
Caesar says, not content corner.
Probably not. I don't know where. I don't actually know exactly where it is that I have to go. I found a parking lot. It seems like it was actually, I found a decent parking lot in Shibuya. I was really surprised by this. 500 yen for all-day parking is like really cheap, like right by Shibuya Station. Alright, so it says if I leave right now, I will get there in 1 hour and 24 minutes. Fuck. Traffic is just going to be gnarly, I think. See if we can cut through some stuff and get there faster. The show isn't until 7:30. I have tons of time for in the regards of like making it. It's just a long drive. This banana's looking kind of gruesome. It's like yesterday's banana. Healthy dinner. Oh, dude, I should have got a smoothie in there. Damn. The lady next to me is slurping on a smoothie, making me jelly.
Captain Spagjarrow Zero says, yeah, decapitated at lol.
Oh, those dudes just like kind of laughed when they saw this big white man dressed like a gnome eating a banana on a motorbike. I'll be right back. And all the COVID stuff that was good is gone now as well. I mean, the bad stuff is gone too. I don't know. Are people still getting COVID? Is it? I don't know. Anyways. But the good stuff, like you used to be able to go into stores and like get the alcohol for your fingers or whatever. I love that. I love that that was a thing. And it's kind of not a thing anymore. All right, let's get moving. Be there around 6:30. I think I'm going to be a bad person and not wear a jacket. It just feels really nice to not have a jacket on right now. Which button is it? The audio is going to change. We should have two mics come online here. Alright, looks like they both came online. Should be good in the helmet. Holler at me and let me know. And turn on Bluetooth. This is this one. The list of like Bluetooth devices I have is kind of getting out of control. If I can just get a holler back if anybody's paying attention about the audio. Make sure that we still have sound. And I'll set these cameras up so that they are. Thank you for the sound check. Thank you guys. Hey, Will, what's up, man? All right, let's drive. The Windows update broke the BIOS? Is that a thing you can do now? Like the Windows update can affect a BIOS? Alright, everything's locked down. Let's go. Yeah, it feels really nice out right now. Wow. It's been kind of muggy all day, as is Japan's weather for the next 6 months. So this is sort of nice. That's an irritation. Thoughts and prayers for your laptop. You know what this does though? I don't have a way to... I think I do have a way to. Sweet. The face cam looks a little dark, but this could be because of the exposure from the sun behind us. I was going to manually raise it, but then I'll forget to manually lower it, and then it'll be too bright later. Why can't it just read my mind? That would be so much simpler. I see the monorail. You guys might not be able to see it, but it just went by, I promise. I don't need that with this. I guess it's not that bad. Why are we not progressing? Let's progress, everyone. It's not super warm. It just feels good, and I'm just behaving poorly. Here's the plan, really, though. If I just don't fall off, then I don't really need the jacket, you know? Like, I just kind of feel that way about it. Like, it's really not that necessary if I just stay on Scooty. So the goal today is to just stay on Scooty. But I had the jacket in the back. What you can't see is I'm also not wearing any pants. I actually don't agree with, yeah, exactly. I don't agree with helmet laws either. I would wear a helmet regardless. That's getting a little outlandish, but I don't see why you should force anybody to wear a helmet. I mean, who cares if somebody's brains get spoiled? I guess if you were like the person that had to scrape up if you had to scrape the brains up, you wouldn't want to be, I don't know, is it better or worse if the brains are in the helmet? I don't know. Big questions. I was wearing pants earlier, yeah, for sure. I'm not going to go in 7-Eleven with my nuts out. But, driving down the road, this is my own personal area. Alright, oh look at that plate, 99999, Q. We gotta keep an eye out for boob plates. I keep meaning to make a bot that we can use so we can have like a counter for boob plates, like how many boob plates we see. But I keep forgetting to make the bot. I've never been to this bakery before. Bakery Loro. Yeah, boob plates are when you see a license plate and the license plate is 8008. I swear, like one day we saw like 5 of them, and then usually you see like one a week. I honestly don't know. Yeah, I mean we've seen more than a handful. I would bet probably 10 total. But I don't know if you guys were here for all of them. But that's what we need to count. See, we need a counter. Scooty don't get his glow up earlier this week. He's like driving real good now. Apparently if you change all the filters and like all the like liquids in the brake fluid and like everything, your scooter drives nice. Yeah, it's not nefarious. Yeah. Do. Scoot, scootity scoot. He's running smoother. Yeah, he's running smoother. I don't know if he sounds any different. Scooty's not very noisy, to be completely honest. Okay. Let's be scooting. And let's be stopping. This road is such a bummer. Well, I don't know if you're here or not. This is basically Route 3. It's horrible. Most of the stoplights, the lanes are so narrow that you can't really cut through the cars. And there's, for some reason, a lot of large trucks end up on this road. So that just sucks to drive around, to be honest, like these big trucks. And then they're so wide, they take up the entire lane. So even if you could slice through, you can't. Yeah, basically. I can take like a slightly longer route that doesn't put me on this road. Maybe I should have done that. It's like 5 extra minutes and then I don't have to be on the road I hate. This road in about 20 minutes gets pretty cool though. Once you get closer to, oddly enough, when you get closer to the city, the road gets wider and it's like there's all these nice looking trees and stuff, and it's just a much nicer experience. But out here, dude, it's just horrible. But yeah, I'm gonna get to a point here where I probably can't fit. That'd be tight. Probably would fit, but if things start moving, it'll get scary. And that one I'm not cutting through. As if those two things start moving at the same time, it could just feel horrible. I mean, worst case scenario, I just stop and wait for them to move, but yeah, it probably just wouldn't be that great of a time. Unless, maybe, I don't know, and then I sit here and think about it. Maybe I could save myself 3 extra seconds on my entire ride. I actually sort of expected it to not be that bad of traffic, right? I'm going into like Tokyo, the 23 wards of Tokyo, like Tokyo proper. I didn't expect the traffic to be quite as thick. In the mornings it's bad because everybody commutes in, or well, some people commute in. Most people are on the train, but I didn't think it would be so much red on the map going towards Tokyo at the opposite of rush hour. But on the way home tonight, it won't be too bad because we'll be leaving the city pretty late. And you can make pretty boss-ass time if there's not other vehicles in the way. Says the man who is part of traffic. Yeah, I mean, look at how much more narrow this has gotten. Slight bummer. And part of the problem with this road is there's no turn lanes really. So if somebody's stopping to turn either left or right, it just kind of mucks up the entire system. Yeah, let's discuss traffic. It really would, but like this is entire turn lane now. And if you don't know, like the more I drive this road, the more I know where to be. Like if you didn't know that that was a turn lane, you'd just be sitting there waiting, not recognizing that you should just get in the left lane and go forward, you know? So, and like there's markings on the ground, but sometimes they're hard to see because they're under other cars or whatever. So it sort of just depends. But like now again, we got a straight in left right lane on the left and a turning right only lane on the right. But and like there's a lot of pedestrians and people on cars or bicycles and stuff as well. So you'll end up with people. Hey, there's the popo. Why is the popo out? Yeah, when you turn left, you have to wait for pedestrians in both directions. Actually, of course. But that really can just put a big line out into the traffic as well. I mean, I think that's the proper way for it to be done. The pedestrian should have the right of way, but it just slows everybody down. This is poor road design, but I don't know what the solution would really be, to be honest. The cop is talking to somebody in the car. What is happening? This is just not usual. You don't usually just see a cop. It's another cop. I don't know what they're looking for. Maybe people run this light or something a lot or something. I don't know. The reality of this whole thing, though, is if I had just taken the train, I would have gotten there faster. It's like slower to drive, which is kind of how it should be. Probably be cheaper to drive, though. It'll be close, though. Well, because I'm going to bring Katie back, then it's probably cheaper to drive. If there's only one person, it's pretty damn close. I gotta pay for parking, gotta pay for fuel, that kind of thing. Not that fuel for this is super expensive. We don't use much juice. The Scooty could fly, though. Think about how much extra fuel that would take, though. Oh my god. You remember in the 50s, everybody was like, we're going to have cars in the future that fly, but nobody was at all even thinking about, like, the energy usages of that, or the energy use. But everybody thought you'd have, like, a nuclear-powered, like, generator in your car as well, right? I think, wasn't that a thing? I saw I don't remember who made it, like Chrysler or something. Somebody made, like in the 50s or 60s, they made a turbine, like a jet turbine powered car. Like some YouTuber was like talking about the quirks and features or whatever. Shit, like 60,000 RPMs or something is like idling. And they were like, it'll run on anything. You can pour anything into the gas tank. Like kerosene, alcohol, perfume, like anything that'll burn. Rolling down the road in a jet-powered car. There weren't many of them made, but apparently it was actually a production vehicle. I think. I mean, there was enough of them made that they had one, and they were showing it, and it was on. So it wasn't just like a drawing. His truck pulled up behind me, and like the shadow just like loomed up over me. It was kind of intimidating. I haven't seen it. Oh, there's a 420 car. That's almost as good as a boob car. We're getting screwed here. Bro. With the aggression, some people will go over lanes. I don't have the balls. This is like the worst possible time to start a live stream for me. Like just this time of day. in terms of like viewership or whatever. If you want to be a successful Japan-based live streamer. Yeah, it's easy. Well, you got to wake up the rest of the Europeans. Where's the Austrians and stuff? You know what I mean? Yeah, that is, well, it is a weekday. Look at the baby in car sticker on the back of this car. That baby looks kind of gnarly. Zowdown was there. He's in California. That's pretty late. I can get the impression some people have weird sleep schedules. Yeah, look at that baby. Is that baby okay? Like, if you're going to put a baby in a car sticker on the back of your car, you shouldn't make it an ugly baby, because then people are going to think you got an ugly baby. God, if you had an ugly baby, that'd be a bummer. Because there's not really anything you can do about it. It's not like you can take and get it like makeup and plastic surgery and shit. And like, babies don't have a personality. So like, you know how some people can be ugly, but like their personality vibes with it, and you're like, yeah, this is a good person. Like a baby, all a baby's got is its looks. You know what I'm saying? You get an ugly baby, it's got nothing going for it. You can slide through here. I mean, it could be his fault. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna need to see his ancestors or whatever. We didn't make it far. We made it to the Alphard though. Sitting in traffic simulator at 8 megs a second. And play this on your Nintendo Switch 2, kids. Does the Nintendo Switch 2 have a YouTube app? Didn't they take that off of the first Switch? Like, maybe it was too slow. Couldn't handle all that intense processing for them YouTube videos. Yeah, it must be like some sort of like traffic day or something. They do these things where they'll have like a bunch of cops will be out. Oh, thank you, Josephine. We all into having safe fun. So I'm doing my best not to fall off today.
gas is going down in price. Wonder if that'll be short-lived. We're getting close to where the road actually opens up and doesn't suck, I think. Maybe a bit farther down the road, but... I think we're in Chofu? I headed to Shibuya, and I'm not going to be... I'm listening to TTS. Okay. That's actually kind of funny. Yeah, that's a good plastic surgery thing. That's a good ad. I would say that driving in Japan is, how do I say, I've driven in a lot of countries. I've driven in, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 countries probably. And every country is different. But I would say Japan has the most mild driving of any country that has like a large population that I've ever been in. In the sense of, like if you go and you like drive in like, you know, some little island someplace where there's like 12 cars on the island, like of course that's more chill. You know what I mean? But like compared to like all the other countries I've driven in, drivers in Japan are just generally not aggressive. Like there's not like road rage, there's not like possessiveness of the lane, that kind of thing you deal with. I'm not sure where you're from, but like if you are from the States, you'll be familiar with like aggressive drivers. Like it just doesn't happen here. Drivers here tend to be pretty aware of their surroundings, so you tend to be in decent shape in the sense of like, if you're on a bicycle or walking or on a motorbike, people are looking for these things because they're so used to having them around. So you feel maybe it's a false sense of security, but I do feel a sense of security that I don't feel in the States. Okay, yeah, it's definitely not aggressive. Yeah, the speed limits in Japan are really low. That's another aspect of it. Yeah, I don't remember exactly that moment. When I say there's no road rage, I mean like to the degree that like when it does happen, it gets clipped. Like it's like a moment, like it's really rare. It's like not, it's one of those things where like maybe I'm trying to, I sound like I'm speaking in extremes and that's not fair. But compared to what you drive in the States, there is essentially no road rage. In the same way that there's essentially no crime here, but there is crime, it's just almost none. So that kind of thing. But low speed limits help. The road design is generally pretty good in the sense of like driving people to like drive safely, like pushing people to drive safely just naturally. So the thing that's difficult about driving in Japan is just kind of being aware of a lot of the rules and stuff are a little bit different, or how some intersections work and stuff. So just like understanding how the roads work can be a little bit of a challenge. But if you're not an idiot, it's really not that hard to just kind of like go slow, don't do anything drastic or whatever. If you don't understand something, just go the way that seems the safest. And if you end up having to do a U-turn or whatever as a result, then just so be it. Especially if you're new to driving in Japan. So generally speaking though, I would say Japan is one of the easier countries to drive in. If you're gonna come drive here, start not in a major city. Take a train, go out into the countryside or something, and get your bearings in another environment. Don't come and drive in Tokyo or whatever. It's just because the intersections are going to be like, what the hell is happening? Like, it'll be confusing. But yeah, I don't find driving here all that bad. Renting a car for like a week. You can do a car rental. Katie would be a better person to ask. You can do a car rental, I think for like 7,000 yen a day. It's kind of you can do it cheaper, but sometimes they're more expensive. You know what I mean? Like that would be a decent budget. So like 50 bucks a day or something like that with insurance, I think. I'm not sure if you can get better deals if you rent for longer time periods or whatever. So it's not like crazy cheap, but it's also not like outrageously expensive. It depends on what car you rent or whatever. We always rent like the cheapest thing you can rent, you know. It's just our vibe. This is the best McDonald's I've ever eaten at. Inside of this little mall here. Amazing. You can rent a Scooty. Scooties are really expensive to rent comparatively though. Like when you go to like Vietnam or whatever, you can rent a motorbike for like $5 a day. Here it's like $100 a day. It's more expensive to rent a motorcycle than a car. And I'm not exactly clear as to why. It just is how it is. I think it's just not that big of a market. So, but yeah, I mean, like sometimes we have friends come and rent a motorbike and it's seriously like 24 hours, like $100. I rented this exact type of Scooty, just an older version, before I bought this one. It's not more risk. I mean, they have insurance. Like, you're still paying for the insurance. It's just because there's not a lot of competition, I think. And I would say there's less risk. Because if you hit somebody with a Scooty, the Scooty's going to get fucked up and the person's going to get hurt. If you hit somebody with a car, the car's going to get a little fucked up, but the person's going to die. You know what I'm saying? Get really fucked up. So I think the idea of less risk or more risk or whatever, I don't know. But maybe from the rental person's perspective, they don't care so much about having to pay for something you hit as much as repairing the device. I don't know. I mean, every other country that I've ever been in, motorcycles are like way, 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 way cheaper than a car. So it's just strange that it's flipped here. But you have to have a proper license to rent anything that you drive here. But you couldn't come here and just like, you couldn't just come here like when you go to Thailand, you can just ride a motorbike and nobody gives a shit. I don't know where you're from in Italy. Southern Italy probably gets a little steamier, but yeah, I mean let's see, we saw 39 yesterday, but the problem was, today wasn't too bad. The problem though is the humidity here is crazy. So like it was like 90% humidity in my house a couple days ago, like inside. Sucks. Yeah, I mean, in the summertime, like, it'll get up, like, past 40. Like, we'll see, like, a super hot day would be, like, 45. It's kind of, that's a rare thing. But the humidity is what kills you here. The humidity is just gnarly. It'll be 40 degrees, and it'll be, like, 85% humidity. And it's just, like, you can't escape it. It's horrible. Running a dehumidifier in your house, though, is, like, that's the way to go. Because it's fairly low electrical use compared to running the aircon, and it does a really good job at just cooling the room down. Like I never even turn the aircon on. I just run dehumidifiers, like the dehumidifiers that are built into our aircon systems, but it uses like quite a lot less electricity. Yeah, man, humidity sucks. A dry heat, at least like with a dry heat, you can step into a shadow and you're like, okay, it's tolerable. Until a certain degree, of course. We're in Dubai that one August. That was just fucking stupid hot. It was fair. If I recall, it was pretty dry. Yeah, the dry function. Yeah. It just sucks all the humidity out of the room. It works good. I haven't done an exact A/B test to see the difference in electrical usage, but I know that it's lower. I don't know by what degree though. All right, good luck on your finals. Thanks for stopping in. Scoot, scoot. Oh, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so the road is finally getting a little wider. Yeah, I can smell the trash in that trash truck. Gnarly. A face full of people's funk. I say it every time we go by. This is where we found the e-sheep that one time. So I'd fit here, but I can't cross over that yellow line, so it's not worth the risk. I mean, I can, but I could get a ticket. I'm trying to get that gold license. No whammies, y'all. Yeah, this is like the car dealership area. Every time I drive through here, somebody mentions that. That was a car dealership with like Bentleys and shit inside of it. What kind of scrub-ass rich person you gotta be to buy a used Bentley? You know what I mean? Like you're trying to like roll in a Bentley and you're gonna get the used one? I could get like if you wanted the classic one, like the old one. You know, but like you're gonna get one that's, you're gonna be like, I'm gonna get a 2022 Bentley to save a little money. It's like, you're not rich. Come on now. Live within your means. I don't know, I've never bought a car here. I bought a Scooty and it was just whatever. There was zero process to it. Like there was no bargaining for a Scooty. I found the cheapest Scooty I could find within a few hundred miles. And I just went in and I was like, I want this Scooty. And they're like, all right, this is what it costs. And I was like, all right. I don't know if I could have bickered them down at all, but it wasn't like a car salesman. It was like a mechanic came out from the back and was like, oh, you're trying to buy a Scooty? Here's the paperwork. Like it wasn't like it wasn't even a conversation really. So I just didn't get the feeling this was like the kind of situation you could bargain for, but it was like quite a lot cheaper. It was like almost $1,000 cheaper than anybody else was selling a Scooty for. So they already had it just marked down to what was the cheapest I could find. So that's how that was the bargaining I did, was just searching around to find the place that had it for sale the cheapest. But yeah, I have no idea if when you buy a car you can do bargaining. I'd be surprised if you could. But I don't know, it's never been anything I've ever needed to do. this is where the road starts to get better. Look at the trees on the sides and stuff. It looks nice. As the farther we get into the city, the more the road will widen out. There'll be more lanes and stuff, and the traffic cuts back. It's nice. Is my man gonna slide through? Nah. Yeah, a little bit. Wow, yeah, look at this, 159. I haven't seen in the 150s in a really long time. It's been like 175 or something, the fuel. 125 yen per liter. I just passed something called T-Rex. I've never seen that before. Dinos for sale. I wonder if you can bargain. They look like they were coming over here. Stay with me, y'all. Rat soup. We're headed to Shibuya too, man. We're gonna be in the town of Rats. It's a video from Shibuya. This is years ago, and it's like somebody's filming from the outside, and they're filming the into a convenience store, into where the drinks and stuff are. And I believe that's what I believe it's into the drink area, like into the fridge. Is it in the fridge? In my head, it's in the fridge, but it must not be. Anyways, it's into a convenience store, and there's just like a ton of rats like falling out of off this shelf, like down on the ground. And there's a whole block in Shibuya that got condemned because, and there was a sign on the outside of the building that said they're condemning the building. Like, I mean, a block, like it's a huge building, like multi-story, lots of shops, a lot of people living there. The whole area got condemned because of a rat infestation they couldn't get rid of. And they raised it to the ground. That was the sign on the outside. It could have just been somebody's excuse to evict a bunch of people. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but that was what it said on the sign. The rats here are like medium-sized. They're not little rats, but they're not the size of like, you know, I don't know, big rats. I don't know. It's like bigger than a mouse, smaller than a cat, somewhere in between. I feel like the rats that we saw in New York were probably a little bit bigger. The rats aren't that big of a deal in my mind. I mean, I wouldn't want them in my house, but the cockroaches bother me more. Fucking cockroaches. These things are gross. Alright, so this is almost a boob car. If you just replace those ones with 8s, you'd have a boob car. Did you hear Scooty squeak? I bumped the horn. Yeah, it's a LOL car. LOL. Yeah, 10101 would be good. They do have 3-digit vehicles here. That one. That's an 824. Thinking about like bolting like metal plates to the bottoms of my shoes so that I could put my feet down and make sparks. Hitting on it before, it's just like it's a unique identifier. Some of them have meaning, but I don't think all of them do. Most of them are just like a unique identifier. Because like if you only had 4 digits, you'd run out of plates real fast, you know. But if you see a WA on there, like a hitting on a WA, those are rental vehicles. Yeah, maybe tap dancing shoes, that's the way. What about just like magnesium? It's like balls of fire shooting out from under my feet. Yeah, I don't know if any of the other ones have meaning, but the WA is, if you see rental cars, they have WA on the plate almost always. But it doesn't apply to motorcycles. Motorcycles don't have a special character for the rental bikes. We're just doing a drive into Shibuya today. Once I get there, I don't think I'm going to keep streaming. It depends on the time we get there. But I'm going to meet Katie, and her and I are going to a comedy show with some friends. But A is for rental? Oh, I've never noticed that before. I've never put that together. I feel like I've never seen a rental car that didn't have WA. Is this the same car we saw earlier? The 1001? I'll keep an eye out for a day and see if it... Usually there'll be like a sticker on the back of the car that's like, this is a rental car, you know? Like, times rent a car, etc. I don't have time to get through. Now I'm looking at like every license plate. Gonna end up in an accident. What were you doing? Staring at some girl? No, just looking for a bay. Shula Miski walk by? Trying to find rental cars. Oh, what is it? If you see a Y on there, like a letter Y, it means they're military, like American military. You can also find those vehicles by the fact that they usually are driving like dicks. I see a Ray right now, but it's on a black plate on a little van. I don't think that's a rental car. But it could be. Yeah, black is commercial, black and green. Like they were going to become like license plate experts, like Japanese license plate experts. Another 420 plate. Okay, so it's gotta be, I don't know, yeah, I've never seen a wah on anything but a white plate, I wonder. That's an interesting observation. Yeah, it's a stand-up comedy. It's in English, I think. Like only in English, I think. Yeah, there's another black plate with Re on it. Sorry, I just smacked that mic. Hope it wasn't too loud. Have I been in a car like in the proper 23 wards? I'm not sure. Maybe once or something. No. When we moved, we drove vans inside of the city. So yeah, we definitely have, but not that often. I mean, I've scooted all around, but in a car. God, all this traffic, man. Come on, man. Yeah, there are no modifiers. Man, I picked the wrong lane. Like a schmuck. There's a wah, and it's a rental. It's got a time sticker on the back of it, that van. Yeah, the old comic characters that nobody really uses anymore. I've been working on a new system for streaming stuff, and if I make it function, if I get it moved over, it'll make it so that you guys can change the camera view on Scooty. But I'm a little ways, it'll be months before I get it tied down if I end up doing it. And even if it even works, it may not work how I want it to. But it would be kind of a slick system. I'm a little worried about thermals and heat. That would be moving both of my encoders to an iPad and streaming off the iPad and letting the iPad do everything. It can do scene switching and stuff, and it can do picture-in-picture stuff. It would be pretty rad. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna get it. I've almost got it set up and working at home. And like once you get it stable and working at home, then I'll try to get it working on Scooty. But I don't know if it'll have a lot higher power usage or not. I haven't thought about it yet. And then also if the iPad's overheating or whatever because it's out in the hot Scooty sun, then obviously that's no good. The encoders I use now do not overheat at all, so that's a huge advantage. But it would be pretty rad to be able to have you guys do scene switching. That'd be cool. I can actually set it up too so that I could do scene switching on Scooty, because like with the app that you use on iPad, you can sync like a video game controller. So I can get like a cheap video game controller and then just be able to press like the A button, the B button, the C button, or whatever, you know, A, B, X, Y. I could mount that on Scooty someplace, and I could be able to manipulate that with my glove. So I could just be like, boop, and it would just like flip the scenes, flip the cameras, make one big, make one small, whatever. But it's got to be really, really reliable and robust, which is the trickiest part about all this shit. And the system I've got now is pretty robust. There is something in the road. It's a motorbike cover. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. It's got to be like safe. It can't be too distracting or whatever. Already what I'm doing probably looks kind of nuts, but I feel like I can do it and I feel safe. I don't feel like I'm distracted any more than I would be talking to somebody that's sitting on Scooty with me. See how much that van came over? That's why I don't like cutting through when cars are moving. Just can never tell what they're gonna do. I do not want to ride behind the guy with all the plants. Our security camera had this stick like in front of it this morning. I was like, what the fuck is this stick? How would a stick be in front of it? It was like covering the security camera, like completely covered. It's like, what is this? And it was there for a long time. I could like roll back in the history. It's like, did a spider somehow drag a stick and like glue it to the wall with a web or something? Like what even happened here? So I went outside and it was like a stick bug. It was just like, guy it was sitting his taint like right on our camera. He's like, oh, you son of a bitch. But it really looked like a stick. I was like, well, maybe it is a stick. And I touched it and it jumped down. And I about pissed myself. That's the story of the stick bug. He fell on the tanukis. I got stick bugged hardcore. He fell down on the tanukis and just fucking sat on our head. It's like, alright. Later, dude. Thank you for the follow. Let's see, I gotta turn. I gotta just stay on 20. Okay. I don't know how much of a disadvantage this is, but when I drive into the city to hang out with people, I don't get to have alcohol. I don't really care, but I know it was a pretty big fucking stick bug. It's probably like 7 inches long. It was pretty big. I mean, this thing really looked like a stick. I thought it was, I got up close to it, and I was like, oh, it's a stick. And then it freaking moved and fell, and then I was like, I looked at it again, and I was like, maybe it is a stick? Even after the thing moved, I still thought it was a stick. Was I supposed to? No, I wasn't supposed to turn there. I don't know how to get to Shibuya cleanly. Like, Shinjuku is easy. You just stay on this road and you end up in Shinjuku. But Shibuya, you gotta turn at some point. And I never remember where it is. I think it's the next intersection. And I have to go left to go right. Unless I'm mistaken. That guy had a serious gallop going. I'm still 20 minutes away. Slow cooking. What time is it? It'll give me like 6:30. Yeah, I was thinking about walking around and streaming for a bit, but the comedy show starts at 7:30. I just don't think there's gonna be enough time to move the Bella Box over and then walk around and then go back and drop the Bella Box off and all that. It just doesn't make sense. So this is just going to be a ride today. And just 2.5 more kilometers straight. Yeah, I should have left the house like a few hours earlier, but I got a bunch done, so it was a productive day, so I'm good on how things went. So what I'm going to do on Sunday, if anybody has any ideas of things we should go check out, I'm open to suggestion. I appreciate you hanging out. This is like the shark with those fish. Stick Bud Zoo. So he's got a green plate on his Scooty, which means he has a commercial Scooty. Dude, fire trucks are so cool. Look at this machine. I'm not that stoked about the Osaka Expo. It's just like huge lines. Everybody that I know that has gone has been like, meh. Like, it's fine, I guess. Nobody has been like, not a single person has been like, you've got to go. So, like, I mean, if it was in Tokyo, I'd probably go because it would be here. But, I mean, it'd be kind of expensive to go to the Osaka Expo, because I would have to get there and then hotel and expo stuffs and tickets, and apparently, like, to get into a lot of the pavilions, you gotta like navigate a bunch of like really confusing reservation systems and stuff, and they've just made it a big pain in the ass, as they tend to do in Japan. So I don't know, just the hype dissipates. It's like buying a Switch 2. The expo is like a bunch of lots of countries come, and they have like a presentation that they set up basically. So historically, I think it's been like, this is going to be like what we're working on technology wise for the future or whatever, but it can be like showing off industry or culture, different things like that. And I don't know exactly what types of stuff that you can see at this one, but it's just like I don't know, it's like a big event where countries come and can have a pavilion and show something off. I went to the one in Vancouver in the 80s. Yeah, I mean, the expo is like I think the World's Fair is, I think you might be thinking of the same thing. Like literally the same thing. The expo is like in a different place every year, like a different country. I plan to go to Shikoku, but it's going to be kind of depend on weather. But it's not going to happen. And I was going to go this month, and then a lot of things happened that made it so I couldn't go. So now I'm looking at going in July probably. But just some things happened that made it so it just makes more sense to wait till July. So hopefully I can leave early July, like the first few days of July, and then I'll look at the weather and decide, do I go to Shikoku or do I go to Tohoku, or what do I do? And we'll choose based on the weather at that point. Yeah, I like Shikoku too. I think it'll be a nice contained, smaller area. Like Hokkaido is really cool, but it's just big. Shikoku will kind of make it a little more, the scope will get a little bit limited down a little bit, and I think there's something fun about that. It'd probably be less hot in Tohoku, yeah. Especially if I like to spend time in the mountains and stuff. It would probably be a lot nicer, but I just have to think about how I feel. This scooter is just like riding in my blind spot. Wow, that's a weird freshness burger. Kind of cool looking. Panama boy. Okay, so how long am I going to be here? I'm going to be here at 7:30. Probably 3 hours. It'd be cheaper to park in the other parking lot, but it would be a farther walk. I think I'll just park at the slightly more expensive one. It's like $1. It smells like clean laundry. So I wonder if you do Uber deliveries if you have to have a commercial plate on your motorbike. Because this guy looks like he's doing Uber. I've always wanted to do a Chinese tour. Just like me and a bunch of Chinese people. Like, I can't understand what the hell's going on here. But if you speak the Japanese, I can probably pick up some of it. But just being on a tour with a bunch of Chinese people. Did you go to that place where you could dance on the noodles? That's annoying. Then you should get some workers' comp. You got a union? Get paid, baby. Awesome. Was it the exact same place Katie did it? If you've seen that video, maybe we've talked about this before. This conversation feels familiar. I think I was computing while he was driving. Careful, dude. Oh, okay. That was a freaking trip. I'm not gonna cut in front of a taxi. Like, I'm like literally afraid of them. We're hopping on the 317. And I think I just go straight, so. I remember eating there being weird. Like, something was strange about it. Ugh. Like, they just stuck at some little room or something. It was something about it was awkward, but I'm sure we mentioned it in the video. I just don't remember in my memory. Dori. Hidari desu. Oh, yeah. That is what happened. There was a little doggy out for a ride. This girl's got flip-flops on and a Master of Puppets shirt, and she looks like she's 20. Does she just dig the imagery, or does she like better than average Metallica album? people get mad at me. They're like, that's the best one. Is it us then? Weird shit happens to us? It's on us? Shit. Alright, when we pull into the parking deck, I honestly have no idea if we're going to have data inside of it. Like if it's in a basement, it might just die on us. If that happens, then that'll just be the end of the stream. But if it stays alive, then the end of the stream will come after I park. We still have about 5 minutes before we get there. But I'm just giving everybody a heads up that it might end awkward. This is the first time I will have been into this parking deck before. They surprisingly usually have data. Where the hell am I? Oh, okay, just clicked. So I think keep going to the right. This is not how I thought we were going to be sliding in. I thought we were going to come in through a different direction, but such is life. I think it's just up here on the left, like right by Shibuya Crossing. Too bad you weren't streaming, that's content. God, these open-top buses, like in the summer, people are crazy, man. Like at nighttime it'd be fine, but in the summer, in the daytime, as I sit on a scooty, I'm a moron. What am I talking about? Car's trying to not let me get out. He's like scooting forward. Like, bro, you cannot out-accelerate a scooty in a car. It's just not going to happen. You are not in the right vehicle. You're a nuisance cyclist. Non-paid eye. What the fuck? What is this blinking light? I got a blinking yellow light. What the hell is that? I mean, I know it means be cautious, but like there was like, it's just a weird place for it. I know what it means, it just felt wrong. This is a Hachiko Buset. Okay, so this parking area is like coming up. It's like really close. I don't think it's here, but I think it's maybe on the next one. Yeah, the draw distance is so like low on this render that things in the distance they can't like render out very far. So you get up close and suddenly boom, they just show up. You know, it's like trees in Breath of the Wild. Valerica, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think I'm taking a left at this next intersection, but I'm not totally clear how this works. So that's why I'm not cutting through. I don't even know if I can fit. The hair of a gnat's nuts. Yeah, this is a strange... I'm not totally sure how this is gonna work. Like where the entrance is. Let's stuff these gloves really quick. Son of a bitch. Okay, I have to go up to the next intersection and take a left. And then it says the parking is on my left right there. It's pretty weird. Only buses can enter here. So that's not us. Okay, here it is. Shibuya Fukarasu. I don't know what that means, but it's a weird name. And hopefully no parking for bicycles, no parking for cars. Bike, here we go. This looks easy. Alright, like I was saying, the data might die. If it dies, stream is over. If not, you can hang out for a few more minutes, and then stream is over. So thoughts and prayers for the bits. Great location though. Looks like it struggled and then it came back for us, maybe? Like, do we have a stream? Did it ever toggle over? I'm checking my, yeah man, my Rakuten signal, my Rakuten has data. Alright. I'm always surprised, man, when there's any data inside of these things. Okay. Scariest thing. Yeah. Hello, my name is Eric. Katie is my wife. She's not here right now, though. But no worries, it's an easy mistake to make. Alright, dudes. Give me a second, the audio is going to change. One, two. Yeah. Alright, we should be on the audio for the mics, or for these. Oof. I just put this hat on first, because if I walk outside, I'll forget. I don't really need a hat today, I guess. It's not sunny. I don't know. You gotta look fresh, you know what I'm saying? You're out on the town. Thank you, by the way. If you haven't seen this movie, everybody, you gotta see this movie. Absolute fire. Okay, I gotta lock up my helmet.
Normani says it's free to watch on YouTube.
Is it just on YouTube? Really? That's cool. I didn't know that. That's great news.
Ziza says this changes everything.
jam everything in here. Okay, let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to close the top box with this on here.
Alicino1 says there is an Eric.
Close. It's not even close. Maybe I can stuff stuff underneath. Yeah. Sorry you're catching just the end of this. I'm going to be taking off in a few minutes. Yeah, screw it. Okay. Yeah, speaking of taking off in a few minutes, I think that's going to happen now.
Alicino1 says no worries.
Let me see about doing a raid. Man, my phone is vibrating like crazy. What is this? What is going on? Oh, I'm just getting messages. Katie thinks I'm dead. Okay, Twitch. Stream manager. And then I gotta click a secret button. We're going to Joan and Kay. She is camping for the first time. I want everybody to say hello to her. She is a streamer from Japan as well.
Alicino1 says, Kai, don't worry, Eric is not dead.
Stream manager. And she's a cool person. And then I gotta click and she does a lot of IRL stuff. And guys help her build her community. That'd be nice. And that's all I have to say. But yeah, she's out doing a cooking. She looks like she's cooking at a campgrounds, which is kind of cool. She's doing something unique. Alright guys, I'm going to hit the raid button now, so I'll see y'all later. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,